My name's Henry Happy, and today I'm going to be showing you 10 different designs that will improve any Minecraft build. Right, let's get into it. So, to start with, I'm going to be showing you the 5 tree designs, and then, as the video progresses, we will see the 5 rock designs. So, now, for the first tree design. So this tree design uses oak logs, so this is an oak tree. So the way I've built this oak tree is you make a sturdy base like down here, and then it progressively gets like kind of taller and spreads out more. So as you can see, we have branches all in here, and then just covered by kind of walls of leaves like this. So you can sort of see the logs, but not from far away, and it makes quite this nice. It makes quite a nice effect of kind of an expanding tree. So it goes from very small amounts of foliage to like this big puff at the top. This is quite an iconic design due to the fact that unlike quite a lot of the others, it goes from very small to then large, spherical or half spherical kind of leaf cluster shapes. So also in this you will see that I've used 3 types of leaves. So I have used azalea leaves, oak leaves, and dark oak leaves. So if I put them out here, you can see there's a little gradient between where you go from lightest to darkest. The idea of this is just to add kind of a little gradient, so there's more light at the top obviously because there's no shadow there. Yeah. I've also added a lot of fences here, like the spruce fences, because spruce wood and oak logs go quite well together. Just as like twigs and extra bits. You can put them up in here. Yeah. So that's the oak tree. And now onto the birch tree. So this is quite similar to a silver birch in real life. Obviously, you can't do like very small branches, so that's quite hard. But the overall shape of kind of the oval going pointier and then back down is very similar. So yeah, the best thing to do with this one is to build a pretty symmetrical shape with like where you have your trunk going up, and then just slowly gets quite thick in like a sphere, and then narrows out towards the top. So you have a big bulge at the bottom, and then gets thinner, progressively thinner, the higher it goes, until you just have leaves and no logs. So that's the birch one. The birch one is probably the simplest out of all of the designs for the trees. So yeah, now onto the spruce. So the spruce trees are used using strip spruce logs, because regular spruce logs, I don't really like them. I think the texture's a bit too detailed and a bit too dark for what I'd want. So I've used strip spruce and then spruce fences and buttons to kind of add some texture. And as you can see here, we kind of do like rings going around. We do thick ring, thin ring, thick ring, thin ring, thick ring, going up. To kind of like in a Christmas tree, you have like these little arcs, and then next level. It's not all like one bushy. It's not like one in clumps like this tree, or as one big section like the birch tree. It's layered. Towards the top, once again, with most of the trees, it gets thinner, and like wider at the bottom. You can also see I've used both birch leaves and spruce leaves, because the birch leaves are a lot lighter than the spruce leaves. So once again, we're adding a highlight using our birch leaves. As some extra interest, I've added this extra second tree kind of growing out from the first one, just because if it was a single tree and it leans over, it looks a little wonky if there's not a counterweight behind it, hence the second tree. And also it just adds some nice detail, makes the tree a bit more interesting. So now onto our savanna tree. So this would work really well in like a savanna or a desert build maybe. So we have our stripped acacia log, and then acacia leaves in this kind of flat, it's like kind of flat, and then with a small bump shape, like a oval, a semi-oval, kind of cut in half oval. An eclipse, I think is the. I'm not sure. So yeah, this is the acacia tree. Once again, I've used the fences for extra detail. This one is definitely the most difficult tree, and I dislike this one the most, I think. I didn't do a very good job on this one, but you kind of just have these thin branches leading out into small clusters of leaves. It's nothing like the other three where you have more leaf than trunk. These ones have a lot more trunk than leaves in them. And then finally onto our dark oak tree. So here I've tried to go for like a fairy tale vibe, because obviously dark oak trees don't exist in real life, so I've made it slightly mystical. Once again, using lots of buttons as texture. So it goes in this shape like this, so you go from thick at the bottom and then wider at the top, similar to the oak tree, except it's in the trunk as opposed to like the leaves, and then flat leaves at the top. So if you look at a dark oak tree in Minecraft, it's very similar. I've just kind of detailed this one a bit more. Yep. And then just as a quick additional one, for like swamps and also dark oak, I've made this mushroom. So really, I lied to you. There are 11 things, but 10 things looks a lot better in the title. So, yeah, so the mushroom's just made, you kind of just do these, you just do like a curve shape like this. And then I've done a slanting stem. You could do another mushroom coming out like that. Like this, to balance it out, like I said before, but really there's not that much space. It's not really necessary because the mushroom head is so big compared to the stem. Shouldn't really make that much of a difference, and it's like quite broad. Yep. So those are the 6 tree designs. And now onto the stone designs, so like stone, rock piles, and boulders. So for our first one, we have a boulder. It's kind of, you would probably find this maybe in like a mystical forest, so like either the spruce forest, the oak forest, or the dark oak forest. Because it's the same green as like the moss, and the green concrete powder is the same green as the grass in those biomes. So as you can see, we have another gradient. Quite a lot of these plants and rocks, it's to do with the gradient. So like here we go from dark green of the moss to then the mossy stone bricks, then to the stone bricks with glow lichen, then andesite and stone. So it kind of, and then you just build a sphere by so you just do like a circle shape in all 3 axes. So you do one like this way, you do one going round, and then another one going around here, and then you just make this little sphere shape. It's not too complicated. If you want, I can make a sphere video and a circle video down in the comment. Just let me know down in the comments. I can make that video if you would like. But other than that, that's the boulder done. So here we have kind of a flat pile of rocks. I've used crackstone bricks, stone bricks, and andesite. Just it's like, say you'd have this near a building site, something like that, or just in the forest, maybe near some ruins. It's just a pile of rocks or pebbles, because it's quite a flat ascent, so it's probably not very structured. Looks like it's kind of crumbled into this shape. So that's the this one. There's not really much gradient on this. This one's just about texturing. You could do all of these without the texture, but I think the texture, especially in this one, really adds, like using the plants, using the glow lichen, using the walls, walls. Just every little detail really helps. So, now on to our next one. This is kind of, you may have this near a dwarven mine. This could be a treasure pile. So you have deep slate tiles, and then mixed in with deep slate ores like gold and copper. You could use any ores. You could use a single ore. You could use 2 ores. Like here, I could go like this, and it's all gold. Yeah. So this one is basically the same as this one, just a bit bigger and steeper. So this one has probably been made on purpose. This isn't something falling apart like the other one. This one is a pile that has been constructed for a reason. So as you can see, I've used quite a lot of stairs. It's quite a steep ascent to the top where we then have a wall. So that's this one. This is kind of what you'd expect. It's just goes kind of flat on the bottom and then upwards and then down and flat. Okay, and then our 2 final builds. So this one is just a cart pulling gold ore and like stone and things like that. You could add like a horse at the front or something, but this is kind of a traveling cart. I've used stripped spruce logs as an axle and wheels, and then the buttons as kind of bolts to keep the wheels in place, and then the spruce fences it's kind of like where the horse would hitch on and pull the cart. So that's our pile of rocks in a box. I've used trapdoors here and trapdoors on the bottom, down here, to kind of be like this box for it to sit in, because if you used full blocks it would look a little bulky. It's a bit too large, so the best thing to use here is spruce trapdoors, or just any trapdoors depending on what you're building it in. You could make it out of any wood, to be honest. Acacia is quite a good one, because the acacia trapdoors kind of look a bit like crates. So that's the acacia one. So acacia, spruce, any of the ones with like lines going through them, they're quite good. So yeah, and now onto our final build. So this would fit quite well in your spruce forest, or maybe a dark oak forest with the mushrooms. It's kind of like a breaking down archway. So this could maybe support a cliff, and then there could be a mine going further in. This could just be kind of like menhirs, I believe they're called, or something like Stonehenge in the UK. It could be something like that, where you have 2 large stones supporting a stone above them, creating an archway. I've done this on a diagonal because it adds a little more detail into it. It allows you to put the walls in, stairs. You kind of just want 2 quite large blocks, and then a slightly thinner, longer block going along the top, made of slabs and full blocks. So yeah, I've put some extra glow lichen for some extra detail decoration. In the dark, this would look quite good because it would all be lit up because of the glow lichen, and it adds some mysterious kind of feeling around this because of like, and it's kind of old because there's lichen growing on it now. It's gotten quite old and broken down, hence why it's falling down a little at the bottom. It's not like completely straight. It's not just like some pillars going like this, holding the building up like perfectly. Like here you could see it's not a total square. It has bits cut out. It's yeah. The best thing to do with rocks is to try and make them feel a bit old, especially ones like this, like those 2. Make them feel overgrown. It adds quite a detail. So this video has mostly been about kind of building forests, well, not forests, but like how to create a nice environment for a base. If you'd like me to continue things like this, where I show you how to build like trees and rocks and maybe houses on specific themes of wood or something like that, please let me know. I could also do houses. If you want to see any of these as a block by block tutorial, also let me know down in the comments. It'd be really good to know. Anyway, I think that is it. So, thank you very much for watching. I hope to see you next time. Please subscribe and like. These videos take ages. Anyway,